dramatic entrance.
Now I want to come out of retirement. This is brilliant. I love this.
Canada, Emmanuel, Hyacinth, Fofana and Bingham. Now we see Daphne Schippers with the Dutch team. Lisa, Schippers, Sedney and Samuel. Then the British team. Asher Smith taking the place of Bianca Williams from this morning's heat. Veronica Campbell-Brown, Natasha Morrison, Elaine Thompson and Shelley-Ann Fraser-Price. The United States, English Gardner, Alison Felix, Jenna Prandini, Jasmine Todd. Alison Felix, who's twice before been a world champion at this event. Trinidad and Tobago, Baptiste, Aye, Thomas and Hackett. And the German team, Rebecca Haase, Alexandra Burkhardt, Gina Lukenkemper and Verena Seiler. Now for Russia, Marina Pantelyeva, Sina Rizova, Elizaveta Demirova and Anna Kukushkina. Asher Phillip leading off for Britain, then to Dina Asher-Smith. Away they go, English Gardner leading off from the States, and the Jamaicans with Campbell-Brown. Campbell-Brown's run a storming leg, so too is Asher Phillip for Great Britain. Here comes the handovers, are they okay? Yep, Jamaica flying, and so too the US. Alison Felix running from the US. Can she make ground? No, it's Jamaica with Morrison, who'll hand over to Thompson. Jamaica have got a good lead here. Alison Felix holds on, hands over now to Prandini. Jamaica and USA, Britain running well as well. And here we come into the finishing straight now, and she's got the baton. It's Shelley-Ann Fraser-Price with Jasmine Todd for the USA. It's Jamaica all the way. Jamaica first across the line, USA in second place. Trinidad and Tobago finished third. Great Britain are fourth, and I think the Netherlands ahead of Germany. That I think is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, here is that relay again. Just look out for these changeovers. Immaculate by the top teams. Just look at Morrison going away even from Felix and those long white socks. Beautifully slick handover too by the Jamaicans. Oh, and a bit of a problem for the Dutch there, and that enables the British to come past them, but way out front. 41.07 officially, United States 41.68 in second. The margin was huge, and Shelley-Ann Fraser-Price.
Well, Daphne Schippers, her Dutch team finished in fifth, 42.33 seconds, but the gold goes to Jamaica. We will see shortly whether their men will follow suit, but that, as Steve Ovett said, only one time has been bettered, and that's the US of A. But tonight, the Stars and Stripes pick up the silver and a championship record for Jamaica. Jamaica, the second fastest nation, with 41.07 seconds.
The German quartet, Julian Reyes, Sven Nipals, Alexander Kosenkow, Alex Platini-Menga. Britain, Richard Kilty, Danny Talbot, James Ellington, CJ Uja has come in on the anchor leg. What a talented quartet from the United States. Trayvon Bromell, Justin Gatley, double silver behind fault, Tyson Gay, Mike Rogers. Or will there be baton problems? The French, Emmanuel Biron, Christophe Lemaitre, he'll go down the back straight. Anumont and then Jimmy Vico, a brilliant anchor leg in the semi-final from the joint European champion. The rock stars of the sprint relay world, and their frontman is Bang On Song here in Beijing. Carter, Powell, Ashby, Bolt. Canada. A great quartet from the North American nation. Aaron Brown, Andre de Grasse, joint bronze. in the 100 metres, Brendan Rodney, and then Justin Warner on the anchor leg. Be a slick out there on the track. Antigua and Barbuda start on the inside. Siobhan Walsh, Daniel Bailey, he just missed a medal in Berlin 6 years ago. Jared Jarvis and Miguel Francis on the anchor leg. Antigua and Barbuda, Canada, Jamaica, France, United States, Great Britain, Germany, and of course China on the outside. The crowd, most of them already standing. Gatlin, the double silver medalist over 100 and 200 metres. China being introduced to the crowd. This is the arena where history is made. Great start there from Nesta Carter. What will Asafa Powell do on the second leg? Gatlin's got a lead. Asafa Powell needs to close this down. The Americans are ahead towards the halfway stage. Clean changeovers for both. This is going to be tight. The Americans are up front. Usain Bolt needs to produce the magic. USA, Usain Bolt. Oh, there's a baton nightmare there for the Americans. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Bolt for Jamaica, USA the silver, and amazingly, the Chinese have taken the bronze medal. It all went wrong for the Americans on the last changeover. It was fantastic down the back straight. Justin Gatlin pulled away from Asafa Powell, but on the anchor leg, Mike Rogers had a nightmare.
We have to get the baton between the check marks and the guys below us now, the USA team. The news is coming through to them. I'm looking at Mike Rogers' feet, I'm looking at his feet. Keep an eye on that solid line there. He's out. It looks like he's over the end of the box in terms of that changeover zone. The Canadians, as you say, Rob, upgraded to bronze at this moment in time with 38.13 seconds. China in the silver with 38.01. And I'm sure there potentially may be a protest by the USA team if they decide to pay the money to have one, but they may look at the evidence and have it confirmed and just accept.
Another brilliant title for the Jamaicans. China the silver, Canada the bronze. 2007. 4 bronze medals for Great Britain in this event, including 2 years ago. Christina Huragu goes lead leg, hoping for a better run than a 2-time world champion and won the Olympics in this stadium. What a quartet. Sanya Richards-Ross, Olympic champion. Natasha Hastings, 9 times a world championship gold medalist. Alison Felix, the individual winner of the 400. And Francina Makarori, who came to these world championships as the fastest woman in the world this year. Wow. Carlin Muir goes lead leg for Canada. Then comes Deverne, Watson and Jean-Baptiste. Canadians have never won a medal. Could they get in amongst the mix? And on the inside, Zemliak, Lupu, Pegida and Liakova. Liakova has got good 800-metre strength. Zemliak goes lead leg for them. She was the European silver medalist. Ukraine, Canada, United States, Great Britain, Jamaica, Nigeria, Russia, France. What a quartet from Jamaica. You would normally put a team who had 4 individual finalists over the 400 metres down as the favourites. But how can they be the favourites with that quality from the United States? It's a ridiculously good lineup.
Absolutely fabulous, and that makes it even more exciting, doesn't it? Nigeria also one to watch. They run really well in qualifying, and again it's just a matter of getting the baton. Not as obviously as awkward as the 4x1 or the 1 lap relay, but they have to be careful when they break to the inside.
Very long leg going first in the 4x4. Alison Felix is on third. She'll be up against Stephanie Ann McPherson, the Jamaican who was 5th in the final behind Felix. But what a quartet, just to give you that lineup again. Sanya Richards-Ross, the Olympic champion. Natasha Hastings, 9 gold medals. There's McArory and Alison Felix. Christina Huragu, Olympic champion in this very stadium in 2008. Interesting that the British have shown faith and put her on lead leg. She looked really good in the semi-finals individually of the 400 and then ran a different race to that which we normally see from her. Getting a little bit spooked by how quickly Alison Felix was coming through on her inside. So United States will start this as favourites, but Jamaica with 4 in the individual final and great experience all the way through their quartet. The Commonwealth champions will do all they can to deny the Americans what would be only their second. Great Britain, bronze medalists in Moscow in 5. Jamaica, the Commonwealth champions in 6. Nigeria, the African champions in 7. Russia, the defending world champions in 8. And France, European relay gold medalists indoors and out, on the outside in lane 9. The final of the women's 4x400 metre relay. Can the Jamaicans challenge the might of the Americans? The United States, with arguably one of the best quartets ever assembled for a 4x4 final. There's Christina Huragu, former Olympic champion. The penultimate track race of the 2015 IAAF World Championship. And what a race this could be. Well, it's arguably one of the hardest legs to run, so long, and that is why some of the biggest teams in this final have gone with their best athletes. Sanya Richards-Ross is closing down on Christina Huragu. Christine Day, the Jamaican, out in 6 is running well. There is Richards-Ross with a Huragu, but remember that Britain tends to come late on these legs. Kotliarova's going well. She's up onto the shoulder of Perossier, the French woman, and Huragu is trying to respond. Good run as well from Regina George, as she's now being passed by Christine Day. Perossier's recovering a little bit against the Russian, and Huragu is pulling a little bit of distance back from Richards-Ross. Jamaica from Great Britain, and the Americans are in 3rd. This will be fascinating on this second leg. The Jamaicans have Sharika Jackson, bronze medalist in the individual, but look at Natasha Hastings coming, and on the second leg for Great Britain it's Annika Anora.
Well, at the moment the Jamaicans have got a 3 or 4 metre gap really at this point, and it looks as if Jackson is going away. She's got, what now, 10 metres or so on the Americans. Can she hold it? She might fade down the home straight, but at the moment the Jamaican team are having a fantastic first 2 legs.
This is a brilliant run from Sharika Jackson. Natasha Hastings is doing all she can. It's Jackson to Stephanie Ann McPherson. Alison Felix on the 3rd leg for the United States. And it's Ailey Child of Great Britain in 3rd, with France in 4.
But this is what I want to see. Alison Felix flat out over 400 metres in a chase. She could close this gap. She is capable of closing this gap, but really it's a matter of, what, 10 or so metres now. The Jamaican team still holding on, first place, but Felix is closing.
Alison Felix, the individual 400 metre champion, is running a storming leg here. She's putting Stephanie Ann McPherson, a world-class 400 metre runner, under real pressure here. Jamaica against the United States, and look at Felix. This is so strong. Felix hands on to McArory. A great leg from the individual champion. And it's Noveline Williams-Mills going anchor leg for Jamaica. Great Britain are in 3rd, Russia 4, Nigeria 5. Well, this is turning into a great battle. We said that they had the best field assembled on paper, the Americans, but Noveline Williams-Mills is still in there. She's been part of some brilliant relay quartets for the Jamaicans. She's won medals at 3 different Olympic Games. But Makarori is starting to pull away. Can Williams-Mills find anything in the last 100 metres? Great Britain still in third, Nigeria fourth. She's coming. The Jamaican is coming. Makarori's tying up. I can't believe this. So close. Jamaica on the line. Noveline Williams-Mills has taken apart Francina Makarori. And it's bronze for Great Britain. 4 individual finalists. They didn't have the champion, Alison Felix, who put the Americans in a commanding position on the start of that anchor leg. But they didn't bank on Noveline Williams-Mills.
Well, Peter, what was that leg by Alison Felix?
Yeah, full marks to Jamaica, a great run, but we've witnessed one of the greatest 400-metre legs we've ever seen. 47.7.
Absolutely staggering. Alison Felix can break that world record in an individual if she tries. That was fabulous. Fantastic performance from the Jamaicans. They gave it all they had, and in the end, a marvellous gold medal.
Derek Druin has gone out there at 2:36.
Team. So they're all getting ready for their positions around this track, but the high jump qualifying continues. Qualifying, what am I talking about? Jump off.
There's extra time going on here, really.
And there is the lineup for the 4x4. Russia, Cuba, Trinidad and Tobago, Belgium, Great Britain, United States, France and Jamaica. We'll have the teams coming out, and I guess the high jumpers may have to wait. So we're starting with the outside. So we've got the team in lane 9 here. And they were the team who were, or the country, who was second last time, 2 years ago. Ricardo Chambers, Peter Matthews, Rasheen McDonald and Jambon Francis, with McDonald and Chambers, members of that silver medal winning team in Moscow 2 years ago. Jamaicans going in lane 9. Then we have France, Anne, Atine Venel, Han and Jordier. Jordier, who anchored the French team to win the European Team Championship 4x4 this year. Went on to succeed at the under-23s, and here's the favourites. Here's the Americans. They won the last 5 times, and their team is Verberg, McQuay, Nellum and Merritt, and 3 of them were in the squad that won the medal last time, and Merritt has no less than 5 gold medals in succession at this event, having run in the heat 5 editions ago. Then we have Britain. Rabbi Youssef was the individual finals, Elena Williams, Jared Dunn, and a relay specialist in Martin Rooney on the final leg. Then we have the Belgium team with the Borlays, Dylan Borlay, to Van der Menden, to Jonathan Borlay, to Kevin Borlay, Jonathan the Belgian record holder, Kevin former European champion. Lane 4 is Trinidad and Tobago, a highly talented team. 6 last time. They've got Rennie Coy, Lalonde Gordon, Dion Lendor, and the World Junior champion Machel Cedenio on their squad. And then we have Cuba, Colazzo, Asea, Chacon and Lesque. They've broken 3 minutes this year. And finally, and on the inside lane, that's lane 2, we have the Russians, who were 3rd last time. Entirely new team this time though. Den Mukametov, Trenikin, Alexeyev and Ivashko. That's the Russian team. So they're all getting ready for their positions around this track, but the high jump qualifying continues. I am qualifying, what am I talking about? Jump off. So, Jamaica on the outside. We have Great Britain with Rabbi Youssef leading off in lane 6 here. United States 1 lane outside them, the favourites. But of course the Jamaicans have been inspired in the relays. All 3 relays so far to them. The Americans were favourites each time. So they are here. Verberg, McQuay, Nelham and Merritt. Whereas the Jamaicans have Matthews, Chambers, McDonald and Francis. Paper, it's the Americans. But that doesn't seem to count for very much when it comes to these big finals. So Russia on the inside. Cuba in 2. Trinidad and Tobago, they've got a really top squad in 4. Belgium in 5. Britain in 6. United States in 7. France in 8. Jamaica in 9. World Championships in Athletics, Beijing 2015. It's the men's 4x400 meters relay. All laps of this track. Away they go with the United States. David Verberg in 7. Right on the outside, Peter Matthews, who ran so well in the heats and semi-finals of the individual event, running blind, but it's a super start by Verberg, who's taken the US right up to the Frenchman on his outside. And the inside, René Quao of Trinidad is also having a good leg, with Jonathan Borlée of Belgium outside him. But it looks like the United States in the shape of the small figure of David Verberg. They may well get the lead. We'll have to watch for that, but a fine start by Youssef of Great Britain, who's running very strongly as well as Quao of Trinidad. So we come up to the first changeover, and it's the United States who just take that button, but just outside them. The Frenchman finished well as well. It looks like 4 abreast here, and the Trinidadians have got Lalonde Gordon for the United States. McQuay showing just in the lead there now. And the French have got Atine Venel. And the Trinidadian, the big figure of Lalonde Gordon, now coming up. But here goes the Americans, Tony McQuay. McQuay it is who leads for the United States. Jamaicans now in 4th place with Ricardo Chambers running for them. Britain have Delano Williams. So it's the United States who'll come up for the second changeover. They're being overtaken though. So let's see what happens at this changeover. Well, it's narrowing the gap a little bit for Britain in 3rd place. Jared Dunn takes over. For Trinidad, they've got Deanne Lendor. For the United States, it's Bryson Nelham. So, Trinidad and Tobago, United States, Great Britain. The Jamaicans coming up fast, though. Jamaicans up, contesting. They're going to come up into 3rd place, perhaps. A fine run here for Rasheen McDonald, who ran that brilliant first heat in the 400 metres. It's a close race. Britain lagging a little bit now behind in 4th place. It's still Trinidad and the United States, and then Jamaica, then Britain. Coming into the final changeover now. And it's going to be little in it between Trinidad and the United States. Trinidad have Sardinia, the World Junior Champion, and just about level with him now is LaShawn Merritt, who's won 5 successive golds at this event. LaShawn Merritt, the individual silver medalist, is up on the shoulder of Cedinho. The Belgians are there. A spirited run though, right from the back. The Jamaicans, the marvellous Jamaicans, with Javon Francis has gone right into the lead. Has he gone too early? Behind him though, the experienced figure of LaShawn Merritt is giving chase. Then the Trinidadians, then Martin Rooney for Great Britain, then the Belgians. What a burst that was for Francis, with the experience of LaShawn Merritt is up on his outside, and it's LaShawn Merritt. It's going to be 6 wins in a row at this event for Merritt. Back they come too with the Trinidadians. USA first, 2nd Trinidad and Tobago, 3rd of Jamaica, 4th of Great Britain, 5th are the Belgians, 6th of the French, 7th of the Russians. What a fine race there. It was changing all around that last lap, and Sean Merritt was so cool there in bringing home the United States of America to that lead, and Trinidad have broken their national record. It's a world lead for the US, and Britain in fact got third. Well, I missed that, but Steve Avett, what a run for Sean Merritt.
Absolutely superb. Experience pays in that sort of situation, doesn't it? He did all he had to do. And in the end, really, Martin Rooney came through. It was very fast there, Peter, in the end, to snatch that bronze medal.
Same time, but he got it, yep.
Just on the line for Great Britain. Trinidad and Tobago, what a great run from them. A national record in second place. They really did make the United States run for it.
It was absolutely mesmerising from Merritt. The Jamaican, Javon Francis, with a huge surge down the back straight, but he went too early and didn't have enough. Martin Rooney out-dipping him on the line. But let's focus on the United States. That's only their second track gold of these games. Alison Felix with the individual 400. But LaShawn Merritt, once again, proving he's got the golden touch. Brilliant for Trinidad and Tobago to get the silver. Fantastic for them. But Javon Francis, well, the adrenaline must have been flowing. It was a great effort from the Jamaican, but he went too early and had nothing left in the last 30 or 40 metres, and that's why Rooney managed to come through and snatch the bronze by what must have been thousandths of a second.
Well, let's look again at a fascinating race, because the lead changed so often, didn't it? Verberg handing over to McQuay. The Jamaicans are running really strongly. Matthews, Chambers, then the US had Dyson, Nellam on their third leg. But Merritt knew exactly what he was doing, and Cedeno, full marks to him, because he didn't worry too much about Francis, and Rooney, as Steve said, just dipping there to take the Jamaican.